earlier, I sat down with former Speaker Pelosi in our exclusive interview ahead of California's special election. The former speaker weighing in on what's at stake for California, the nation, and her own political career. Madam Speaker, welcome to The Story Is, our new show.
Wonderful. Congratulations. I'm delighted to be with you.
Thank you very much. So we're here in San Francisco at a Yes on 50 rally. What's the closing argument for Prop 50?
Goodness. Goodness. It is about who we are as a state and, of course, as a nation. The fact that the president knew that he was going to lose the House and he then went to Texas to pick up more seats. It behooved us to then counter that. So people say, oh, well, I don't like either of that. And I said, well, we have to defend democracy. But it's not just democracy. My view is that you save democracy at the kitchen table by meeting the needs of people. It's about goodness. By goodness, I mean you do not say that when it's time to feed the hungry, according to the Gospel of Matthew, that you as Republicans say, we just really can't do that. In fact, they took over $150 billion out of their ugly bill, which they called beautiful, from SNAP, from the food stamp program. I just think that's totally wrong. In fact, I think it's evil.
So are you suggesting that the president's not a good person? I'm
saying that his policies are not good. I don't know what his, I don't know. Let's not go into that. Okay. But let's go into a little bit about what this is about, though, Proposition 50, which is about redistricting California. Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's against Proposition 50, who helped put independent redistricting, has suggested instead of changing the rules, you should outperform Trump, don't out-cheat Trump. Why do you have to change the rules in the middle of this? Democrats should be competitive as is. How do you respond to this concept that this is like cheating? I always say to people who are no longer in the game, enjoy your retirement. We're in the fight, and this is how we're going to win.
But what about the merits of what he's talking about? That
I don't
essentially
think it has any merit.
that if you're living in a place like Huntington Beach or Norco, these deeply red areas that will now have Democratic Congress members most likely, how is that good for you in terms of democracy?
The fact is that the president wanted to rig the system because he knew he would lose. People said, well, two wrongs don't make a right. We don't like redistricting decade. We don't think that that's right. But the fact is we have self-defense for democracy because this is a president who's doing what he's doing to reinforce abolishing the House of Representatives, getting rid of the beauty, the exquisite beauty of the Constitution.
I know you've said the focus is on Prop 50. I know you've said you won't talk about your future until after Prop 50, but there is speculation about what you're going to do next. Can you talk to us just about what the thought process is? How do you weigh the personal and the political?
Well, first of all, when people start, as in the press, speculating, is she going to run, is she not going to run, other people file or say they're going to run, you know what that does? That gives me so much support. People calling me saying, I'm for you, I'm for you, I'm for you, representing organizations, representing communities that some of these people are leaders in, but calling and saying, if you go, I'm with you. So it's a lovely thing to see the friendship. I have no doubt that if I decided to run, I would win. That isn't even a question. It isn't arrogant, it's confident. So for me, it's just a question of one thing, winning the House for the Democrats. And that's what we're doing with Proposition 50.
Do you think the Democrats have a better chance of winning the House next time around if you're on the ballot?
No, I'm saying if I'm out there politically active. No, politically active.
So Scott Wiener, who's the state senator for this area, who has talked about running for your seat many times, has deferred to you many times, recently got into the race.
Yeah.
Did he give you a heads up? Was that with your blessing?
He gave me a heads up, but I think he's more concerned about other people getting in. And why don't you talk to him about his thing? No, I thought, you know what my message is to all of them?
Yeah.
Fight for Proposition 50, and then make your plans about what comes next. And that's my message to all of them. So some have participated, some not at all. We haven't even seen them. I have said I won't do anything until after Proposition 50. So tomorrow night will be very fraught with meaning for all of us.
So obviously, one of the big things about Proposition 50 is for control of the House, and we're seeing right now what a Republican House looks like. We're seeing the shutdown. You've been in there, you've negotiated, you've found off-ramps for men who have strong egos. So what's the off-ramp for this shutdown? What's a deal that allows President Trump to save face, that allows Democrats to get what they want, and gets, most importantly, the government back open?
Well, I would say that the off-ramp has to be meeting the needs of the American people rather than the face of what's his name. Now, you said something about the Republicans in the House of Representatives. They have abolished the House of Representatives. They don't even want to take a vote on anything. It's very strange. They fear Trump. They're puppets of Trump. And Trump doesn't mind shining the light on the strings. He makes them look terrible. Public sentiment will open up Congress, not saving face for the, what's his name?
What's like one word you'd use to describe Mike Johnson's leadership?
Puppeteer. Oh, puppet. Puppet. Yeah, puppet. It's sad. He's probably a very decent person.
Do you talk to him at all? Does he ever?
Not lately. He doesn't talk to. We aren't even there. It's not a question of talking to him. There's nothing there. There's no there. Understand this. The only person that he takes any advice from is insistence, demands from the President of the United States.
I mean, as somebody who reveres the House of Representatives itself, I mean, more than just about anybody, how does it make you feel to see what's happening in the House right now?
Our founders did not want to have, again, how can I say this? It'll sound like I'm awful about Trump because he's just a vile creature. The worst thing on the face of the earth, but anyway.
You think he's the worst thing on the face of the earth?
I do, yeah, I do. Because he's the President of the United States and he does not honor the Constitution of the United States. In fact, he's turned the Supreme Court into a rogue court. He's abolished the House of Representatives. He's chilled the press. He's scared people who are in our country legally, but making them smashing into their cars and the rest. Now, I don't even want to go into that, but that's a whole other story.
But does that not inspire you to want to stay and keep fighting?
I want to win big tomorrow night. That's my goal.
If Prop 50 passes, the entire country, when? So you're confident? You think it's going to pass?
Definitely.
So the entire country is watching, California. What's the message that California is sending to the rest of the country?
So I think the message from our win is one of hope. We've drawn the line. Speak out. Lincoln said, public sentiment is everything. With it, you can accomplish almost anything. Without it, practically nothing. But for public sentiment to prevail, people have to know. You know, see, I always wear these bracelets. You reminded me of them. I wasn't even going to bring it up. But if you, and it's faith, hope, and love. If you have faith, if you believe in the goodness, charity of others, it gives you hope. Now people can believe that in the goodness of our country, that gives them hope. And that's when my spirituality, my faith in all of this comes with a strict separation of church and state, but with a commitment to goodness.
Do you have a reaction to this new Jonathan Karl book about what President Obama said to you after Kamala Harris got the nomination?
I haven't read the book. I heard that, no, after she got the nomination?
According to the reporting, that President Obama called you and was frustrated that you endorsed her quickly and that he wanted there to be more. How did it go?
It wasn't quite that way. The President of the United States endorsed her. I had always thought that she would be stronger if she won a process. Not that it would take her place, but if she emerged from that, which she probably would, since she had the endorsement of the President of the United States, and that was I think the perspective that President Obama was, but once the president, and it happened, he endorsed her. That was it. Now, it's funny that he said that because on the other side of it, her supporters said, I was one of the last people to endorse her, which wasn't even true. But I think I got from both sides. But the president, President Obama is, he's our hero. There's nothing to compare him to, so his view is very important. And I do think we would have been better off if we had a process. But there wasn't probably enough time if the president was going to make an endorsement.
Lastly, I mean, clearly you're in a reflective mood right now. And just when we think about the most important leadership lesson from you, not even just for politics, but just in terms of everybody in their everyday life, what do you think is the most important lessons we can learn from your story?
Well, I always say to the members, and they tell me back that it was the most useful, is be yourself. Know the power of you. In the history of the world, there's been no one like you. And your authenticity and your just the power of you, the certain person you are, is really what is something that the country needs and society needs, if you don't even go into political arena. I also say to people, this morning we were laughing about this, treat everyone as your friend, but know who your friends are.
Great. Thank you, Madam Speaker. What an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah.